have to be born one.
You're just telling us that the child has been born. We're asking you why that matters.
Because once the child is a human being,
she's alive.
She is not human.
and they are born.
Always comes to 80% of the arguments. I'm sorry for being frustrated, but 80% of the arguments come down to this simple.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Misunderstanding of biology almost every time, and it just
every single
starting
time.
to be really upset because
It all comes down to this.
There's no misunderstanding of biology.
Yes, there is.
You just said when it becomes a human being, it becomes a human being at conception.
Do you think that it's not a human
fetus,
being before it's born?
A zygote cannot live outside my body.
Textbook deflection.
Oh,
Hold on. Do you think it's a human being before it's born?
It depends on where you are in gestation.
Any
You think you're human?
point in gestation.
Sure. By the time you're 6 months along, the child that's a child that maybe would be able to live
Okay.
outside
So what
of
is
you,
it?
and that's a different story.
Yeah. So what is it before 6 months if it's not a human being?
What is it?
It's not exactly 6 months. I'm just telling you, once it's viable to live on its own outside of your body,
What is
then
it before it's viable?
What is it?
I guess that's when you might talk to it that way.
Okay.
But
when
women
we say
don't want
human
to go
being-
to. Women don't want to keep a pregnancy for 6
Don't
months
pivot.
and then
Don't
decide
pivot.
they don't
Don't
want it.
Textbook deflection.
oh,
Pivot.
That's
Don't
not
pivot.
real life. That does
Don't
not
pivot.
happen.
So you pivot.
Don't pivot from the point. We're sticking
No.
on this point. You said when you say human being, do you know what does that word mean? When we say human being, what do we mean by that?
What do we mean when we use the word?
I'm not going to go along this line. What I'm
You
trying to
said that
say
you
is,
understand
speaking to
biology.
two men who've never been pregnant.
But you're a man.
there we go. There's the icing on the cake.
Well, I
every
mean,
time we
it is kind
question
of
them-
ridiculous
Every
having two men
time.
argue
Every
about
time
whether
we
or not
question
women
them,
should
every-
control their
look,
own bodies.
I don't have the intellect to refute these arguments.
James, every time we question them, they
You don't
always
want
fall
someone
back
to
on the
control their
same
body.
pro-choice taglines. We're asking you a very specific question, right?
No, I'm asking you a
said-
very specific
I
question.
said
You still
when
haven't
we
answered
say-
it.
When we say
Do I
human
have to
being,
let someone else?
when we say the word human being, I just want to know what that means. You said we don't have an understanding of biology. So tell us, since you must have an understanding of biology, what does that word mean?
Would you tell us?
You know what?
Somebody's a human being. What is that? We just want
I
to know what
didn't
that
say
is.
that. I didn't
So you pivot.
say that at all.
Okay, so what is a human being?
The only point that I have to make is the one I've said, and you all just don't seem to get it.
Are you telling us that you
That
don't know what a
I
human being
don't
is?
have to give my permission to someone to use my body if I don't want to.
Sure. We get
That's
that.
it.
That's what you've been told.
Textbook deflection.
Oh,
What is a human being?
I don't have to give you permission to use my body.
Can you answer what a human being is?
unless I'm your kid.
Just tell me
No,
what a human being is.
that's not it at all. You're not a child when you're,
I'm going to ask it one more time. What is a human being, Jacqueline? Just tell us what a human being is. That's it. Just tell us what a human being is, and we can further the conversation.
Acting captain of this vessel, I order you to answer the question.
You're just repeating the same taglines that you hear because you've been politicized to do so. We don't care about that. We hear the same line every single day. We're asking you what a human being is.
Answer the question and address him as General Sir.
it's all about, that's it.
It's all about what? Okay, can you tell me what a human being is?
No, I can't define a human being for
You see, that's an interesting word.
you. Can you?
Oh, okay. So you can't define it, but yet you're saying that it's not a human being prior to viability.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so if
It's not
a human
viable. It can't live.
So if it's
It
not a
can't
human
be a
being
person.
prior
It
to
can't be a human if
viability,
it can't live by itself.
if it's not a human being prior to viability,
It doesn't
then
have
what the
bodily
hell-
autonomy.
listen, I'm asking you I don't know if you're purposefully trying to slither out of the question, but I'm going to keep asking you until you concede. What is it before the viability if it's not a human being?
It's a bunch of cells that are growing.
Okay.
You think you're human?
Okay. What kind of cells are those cells?
Oh, there are all kinds of cells.
They're all kinds of cells. Do you know what cells are in biology?
How is this relevant?
Oh, it's relevant to your position. Do you know what cells are?
So you pivot.
My position is No one can use
What
my
are
body
cells?
without my permission. That's my only
What are
position.
cells? What
That's
kind
my
of cells
only
are they?
position that I have. There is no other position.
What kind of cells are they, Jacqueline?
Why won't you understand that someone can't use your body without your permission?
my
James,
gosh.
you see, this is like,
Dude, I'm
this
okay.
is
Every
literally-
single time, right? You're in this conversation and you're kind of confused at what the pro-choicer is saying because it's pretty
I'm not
illogical.
confused.
And 80% of the time, you get down, you
There's only-
uncover
there's no-
that
I
there's
don't
this
get down to anything.
misconception.
There's
Hold on,
only-
Jacqueline. I'm talking to Kay.
You can take that box and shove
Yours now.
There's this misconception about a basic biological fact, a basic reality of life when it begins. And dude, it happens so often. Like, you think that people don't think that way, and then you hear them talk more and more, and you're like, oh, this person doesn't know when life begins. You know what I mean? I mean, it's mind-blowing.
Every single time.
Every single time.
And it's funny because these kind of people, they can't even engage in discourse. They can't engage in proper discourse. They're so stuck on one line. They have to repeat the same lines. Oh, it's my body.
This is my body.
I don't have to do anything. It's my body, my choice.
This is my body.
I can do whatever the hell I want. Nobody should tell me anything. It's the same lines over and over again. You can't even engage in critical discourse. You can't. It's like you have an inability to. We're asking you a specific question and you keep repeating the same line over and over and over again like you're a robot or something.
Are you a robot?
I mean, you know, not everybody can engage in political discourse, so it's okay. And I know I'm going to come across as a complete a-hole, Jacqueline. I am sorry. I will apologize. But, you know, we're not talking about your body, your choice right now. We're
This is my body.
talking about when human life begins. And it is a fact that it begins at conception, and you don't know that. So understand it from our point of view. It's frustrating. It's a little funny. It's difficult to maneuver when people don't accept the basic facts.
Bro, get her gone, bro. She can't think. We need the next guest.
Get rid of her.